that's one of its strengths, one of its challenges, and part of what draws a lot of people in is that we're a place for people's voices to be heard. And so that's what it is to me. I'm going to let Steve talk a little bit about the history of Occupy Iowa City specifically.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve Hoffeld. I'm also been around Occupy Iowa City quite a bit. I was asked to briefly talk a little bit about the history of actually Occupy Iowa City, what we've been doing here to kind of stand in solidarity with the rest of the Occupy movement across the country and around the world. As you guys can see, we have the great slideshow going in the background. So you can see a lot of the images of what happened kind of over the first 6 months. I know a lot of people here have been involved in a lot of this stuff, so if I forget things, big things that we did, little things that we did, I apologize, and please bring them up as needed. Really, Occupy Iowa City, started shortly after the Occupy Wall Street protests in New York in the Zuccotti Park. I was not a part of those first meetings. I know there was a group of people that got together and talked about forming an occupation here in Iowa City, and it really got off the ground. I believe the date was, I went back and looked, so hopefully I'm right, would have been on October 7th of 2011. I actually started a formal physical occupation of College Green Park right down the street, where a lot of the pictures you're seeing came from. It actually grew pretty fast. I was not there the first couple of days, but I know I watched it every day and then started coming down and attending GAs. At that point, we were having a GA every night publicly in the park. And more people kept coming, and more people kept showing up, and tents kept going up, and the kitchen grew. And we actually built, for a while there, quite a large and diverse community in College Green Park. I know it was a very interesting experience, a kind of a moving experience for me. I had a lot of really good times in the park. I think a lot of people did. We built up, obviously, a kitchen where we were serving food every night. We had teach-ins on a variety of subjects, political, environmental, economic, people coming in and talking. We used it as a rallying point to make signs, have protest marches. We marched multiple times on issues such as corporate greed, too big to fail banks, that kind of thing. We kept the occupation going well into the winter and actually all the way through the end of February, although the weather obviously took a toll on what we were able to do out there. Even though we moved GAs out of the park when it got cold and got to the point where we couldn't sustain it in the park anymore, we did continue to meet several times a week, as everybody knows, and continue with direct actions, most notably against the NDAA, but also with the caucuses that came through. We had a lot of actions around the Iowa caucuses, including a caucus assembly to disseminate information, and various protests when candidates were speaking here. I actually got on CNN a couple times. That was pretty fun for those who were involved. I think that's kind of all I have in a history of Occupy Iowa City. I don't know what's next. What did I forget? Nothing.
You guys normally have a meeting place where all you guys just get together once in a blue moon and...
It's not once in a blue moon. We've been doing GAs, regular General Assemblies, regularly when we get together every Tuesday or every Thursday and Sunday nights, starting at 7 o'clock. We usually do them at the Iowa Peace Center in the basement of Old Brick. But sometimes, when the schedule there doesn't work out, we end up actually getting a room here at the library or sometimes the Unitarian Church.
So where is the